The initiation process seems simple enough. Join the Thieves Guild by picking as many locks as you can in the allotted time without being seen. But as you enter the makeshift marketplace for the test, you notice the other initiates are poised and ready to attack you. There might be more to this than it seems. Roll for stealth. So today I'm going to show you how I made the treasure chests from the opening, and we're going to do that with some popsicle sticks, which I have marked here. The ends are 12 millimeters and all the middle sections are 15 millimeters. Now these measurements are a little important, but basically as long as everything fits, it'll be okay. So we're going to start by just kind of cutting all of these sections, and then we will get started gluing everything together. Now, this process is done to kind of create some slats by putting these little slips of paper in between the sections that are going to make up the middle of the chest. And this is just going to be as simple as take one of the little wooden slats and dab a drop or two of super glue and then put a strip of paper down towards what you would call the bottom of the chest. Make sure it doesn't go towards the top. Then another drop of super glue and apply another piece of wood, again making sure that everything is oriented the same. So every time you do the next piece, you want the paper to stay on the same side. And you're going to make a sandwich of this that are 5 pieces thick. And that will space them out just enough that they will create a nice little wooden slat appearance once everything is done. So now we need to attach the bottom, and to do that we're going to trim off any large pieces that are sticking out, and then using a nail file I'm going to just kind of sand down the bottom of the sandwich to kind of create a flat surface that the last piece is going to attach to. And there we go. The reason for the measurements from before is because that roughly makes the sandwich about the size of a popsicle stick in width. So now we need to sand down the 2 sides in order to attach the end pieces. Now the whole process does not take long at all. Putting one of these together takes maybe 10 minutes if you're being relatively efficient at it. 15 to 20 minutes if you're being very slow and don't particularly care about time. So now to attach the end pieces, the only thing you want to do is make sure it's flush with the top and as centered as you can get it. So now we're going to round off the lid, and this is going to be done by just kind of using a hobby knife and some very careful positioning to just kind of shave down the sides so that they kind of match with the rounded ends that we've attached. Once this is done, it'll give it a nice weathered and handmade appearance of wooden slats. So now we're going to make the metal banding that's going to wrap around the wooden box, and this is going to be done using this. Now this is some aluminum waterproofing roofer's tape. I bought a roll of it for $12. It is very useful, very handy for stuff like this because it is metal, it works like metal, but the glue on the back of the tape is very, very strong, and it makes it very difficult for it to come off on its own. So we don't have to glue it down, we just have to peel the backing off and it will stick in place, and if it comes off, you'll be very surprised. So I'm doing 2 strips around the 2 ends. Now I'm going to cut off the excess so that I can use it for another step in the process, but you can also wrap it around the bottom if you want to have the banding continue the appearance around the entire piece. So once the sides are done, I'm taking another piece and one of the cutoffs to do a full wrap around to create the separation of the lid from the rest of the treasure chest. Then I'm taking a small cut of the tape, and that's going to get stuck in place on the center of one side to create the appearance of a small lock. Now you can attach a bead or whatever to that in place of it. I'm just doing this because it's nice, simple, and easy. Now I'm taking a small jump ring. You can make these, or if you happen to find them at a hobby store, buy them. And then cutting one in half, I'm going to use a set of pliers to kind of bend it a little bit shut to create a more tight horseshoe shape. And then these will get glued onto the ends to create the handles for the treasure chest. Now, because of the glue on the back of the foil, you can kind of press these in to kind of cement them in place as well as glue them. I would recommend doing both. So once that has been accomplished and the glue has dried, we're going to paint over the entire thing with some Agrax Earthshade. I'm also going over all of the metal stripping that I put on. This will give it a nice weathered appearance. If you don't want to have it kind of tinged like it's rusting, I would recommend doing just the wood in the Earthshade and then doing like a dark wash, like a null oil, over the metal strips. That'll give it a more weathered appearance without it looking rusted. But I kind of wanted this appearance so that I could fit them into a lot of different settings. And just like that, the piece is done. So these can be used to spruce up little warehouses or treasure rooms, also as definitive loot that party members can find after defeating enemies. So, thank you everyone for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment in the comments section, and we will see everyone next episode.